Mr. President, in one of their recent meetings, an audio I would say leaked. I don't know if it was published intentionally, but as I was coming news, I heard something that's of interest, and that will lead us to something that will be concluding our conversation for tonight about taxes and schools. Let's listen to it briefly.
They are our people. They are for the reason we are fighting. They are for the reason we are sacrificing our energy, our time, and every other thing. So when we want to take a decision, that is what we are saying. We cannot even stop some groups because these things are done on papers and Facebook and WhatsApp. But we are saying that it has to stop for the good of the struggle. When you want to decide on something, ask yourself, what is the negative consequences of this decision? I've given one here. When you ask people to pay taxes, you give them receipt. Then GMI, gendarmes and military come and arrest them because they discover that they have paid taxes to you without receipt. Where are you to protect them? Because that's the reason you collect taxes. You are the authority. You are claiming that you are the authority. You are running them. They pay taxes to you. Where are you when the gendarmes, the army, the military, and the terrorists are attacking those people, arresting them, locking them up, and asking for money? Where are you to defend them? Were you able to sit with the other leaders to find out how you can find a way where the people can contribute without you putting them at war? It is criminality. When you tell people to change the colors of their taxi, who runs the road? When did they register the taxi? You want them to change the color? Are you the one who registered the taxi for them? Because the registration is still owned by La Republic. They still go to La Republic to register it. The council is still taking money from them. They're running the taxi. You ask them to change the color in the open. And then when they seize their taxis, where are you to go and remove it from those who have impounded it? These are the questions I'm asking. Why do you take these decisions when you are further risking the lives of the people and putting them in danger? You're not doing anything to free the homeland. You are turning the people against the rest of all the others for the work they are doing. Because they will not say it is Dr. Akwanga doing it. They will say, look at what those people who are abroad there, who are not suffering, see what they are doing.
Mr. President, that was Dr. Beneza Akwanga, whom I understand you at one point you would have worked with him, at least agreeing with you for the cry you've been crying for months, that this whole liberation tax and the way it's being prosecuted, the so-called change of taxes, is an entirely a bad idea. I just would like you to comment again on that issue so that the stance of your government will be reiterated.
Well, I agree with Comrade Akwanga, probably more than many other people who used to have footprints on the ground. So I have, I had even worked some understanding with him. We have gone further than it has been with any other person. Yeah, I've had private conversations with him on issues when they happen, when I know that I needed his input. And we have had frank conversations. I think on this issue, it's another issue where we agree. It is wrong. It is wrong. But here, let me say this: that when the people leave the realm of the area of actions, when they stop producing actions and start seeking relevance, they do things because for them, notoriety is popularity. Notoriety is popularity. Anything that puts them in the media is popular. It makes them popular. When somebody is seeking for relevance, he can get it through notoriety or he can get it through popularity. Popularity will come when you are doing the right things. When people really, what people really want, and you are producing those actions, you will get popularity. Then you can also become notorious and therefore known by everyone to be such. I think that's the path of the ADF, if at all, wherever they stay, they exist. That's the path they have chosen of relevance through notoriety. If not, how are decisions made? How are decisions made? Is it, did you just wake up one morning, you yawn, you think about it, or you do? Or you just wait when anybody does something, because you cannot talk, you cannot scold anyone, especially when you are not producing the action, you are irrelevant. You cannot correct anybody. So the only thing you can do for popularity is to endorse anything that comes to you. You can tell a child, I don't want you to read this book, and you go to the bookshelf and buy another book and give that child. But if you cannot afford a book and he's playing with that which he's playing with, well, it's not enough. You cannot tell him stop. If he says stop, he says stop. I'm still bored. What will I get? What will you tell that person? Nothing. So some people endorse any nonsense on the ground. They endorse and find a way, talking point to justify any nonsense on the ground that happens. They even take responsibility for what they did not do just for relevance. But even though that is making them notorious, for them, if they want to become relevant through notoriety, since they cannot get it through popularity anymore, because they are not producing the actions that the Amazonians want. So, for you to say that taxis should change their colors, which office will, which office is registering taxis? Do they also have an office that is registering the taxis? No, they are actually saying that taxis should expose themselves to be targeted. That's, you should make sure that's a law that says taxis should expose themselves to be targeted. Among them, the same taxis that will help will lock down, will marching here and there, and will even support, and some of them help they help us. Then you say expose yourself by giving yourself a flag and a color that people should come, you should be arrested. And just like Akwanga asked, are they there to support them? When people obey your laws and they are victimized for obeying your laws, you should be there to defend them for obeying your laws.
Yeah.
The tax, the same thing. The people on the ground, let me tell you the truth. On the ground, um, people have been able to help one way or the other their children. If my child is in the resistance, I think there is nothing wrong with that child for what he's doing. I can give that child some food to eat. Then I don't need a receipt for the food. I don't need a receipt. If you give me a receipt, it means that any day they search me, they find that receipt, they should know that that's what I'm doing. Is that not a height of stupidity? You only see it as stupid if you still want to win the war. If you are involved in the actions that are moving this struggle, you will be worried about it. But if you are somebody who is clearly inconsequential and only seeking relevance, you will laugh at it. No matter what we say, they will laugh at it, because that's the only thing they crave for. They crave for some form of relevance through whatever thing, crazy thing they do. So they are doing this crazy thing so that we can even talk about it. The fact that I even in this telecast I even mentioned the name ADF, for them that's enough promotion. Whether I mention it for good or for bad, they have been promoted. Maybe at least people, the name exists at least in the minds of the people. That's what they want to do.
Yeah, I cannot agree any less with you that is trying to just seek attention, and there are those who really believe that he's not working for Amazonia because his actions on the ground are turning the people against the movement, and this is a critical issue which I don't think you can leave here tonight without addressing it. Amazonians in their millions are watching you right now at the home front. Some of them are sending in their messages, and they will ask these questions that we find difficulty to understand. If you would have to advise the people at the home front in the face of this complexity and confusion created by what I call a Cameroon proxy militia or armed group, what would be your advice, Mr. President? And also, if we must have the people on the ground participate, maybe by some form of donation, food, money, what is the best or better way to go about it?
You know, we have resisted La Republique, which is about 20 million people. We cannot we cannot bow to some few renegades who want to destroy our hope and our struggle. We cannot bow to them. So my only advice is that we are resisting every enemy, internal and external. Those who are carrying Ambazonia flag, calling themselves Ambazonia this, Ambazonia that, they, they are not working for our interests. We will resist them the way we resist La Republic. Uh, so that's my advice. We should not surrender to them, because surrendering to the internal enemies, they are the same as surrendering to the enemies without. Because anything that will make us fail or make us fall short is a victory to the enemy external that we know. So this we cannot surrender to the proxy. The only thing is that we have been prosecuting this struggle for a while now. We already, as I said the other time, we have defined ourselves in this struggle. There are no there are no strangers. Even right in the home front, you know who is who. You even know among the fighters who are who. You know them, especially because of this system we put in place where people, which is a county by county strategy, you know who is who. You already have an idea of who are these fighters who are around me here or not. We should not allow the back seats to destroy the hope of 8 million people. So I want us at the home front to do everything to collaborate with the good ones, because you know them. There are certain instances where you don't know them, but in most instances you know them. Encourage the good guys, because the bad guys are not as many as the good guys. And it takes a good man with arms to stop a bad guy with arms. If we associate with the ones that are good, if we don't bundle everybody together as La Republic wants us to, if we turn our anger against the bad guys, but make sure that we know that the good guys are not bundled together, then we'll be able to preserve our revolution. But I know that the haters of our struggle, they want to take advantage, because this is not a this is this, we are not fighting without opposition. And the haters and La Republic that orchestrated this through their proxy is also working on the ground to make sure that they can promote this narrative, they can take advantage of this, they can popularize this idea, and whip up the anger of the people, so that they will make a blanket. They will hate us. They will turn against the struggle completely. That is the intention that we should understand better and know that the question is that if you collaborate, you join yourself together to turn against the good and the bad because of what the bad guys have done to you, what alternative is La Republic offering you?
Yeah.
What alternative is La Republic offering you? Are you really sure that if all the bad guys, because of the bad guy, we wipe out all the good guys from the struggle, and the struggle ends, and La Republic takes over and parades itself as the victor of a war that they fought and won? You will have any voice against you die. In fact, it will be as good as everybody died than for those who will live under that dispensation. So that's why I say that instead of us to buy that narrative and turn against our own, where we know that the enemy has planted his own to cause these actions and cause this confusion and turn our hatred against our own liberators. We are not going to allow that. We are instead going to be surgical to know that only those who are evil, who are bad, they don't deserve our collaboration. Even when they force us at gunpoint to do so, we are not going to continue to support them. We are going to make sure that we stop them, because if you don't stop the internal enemies, the external enemies will continue to use them.